Employees are basically like children. I said what I said, and in this video, I'm going to explain why I said what I said. Welcome to the channel, Leadership with Mike. On this channel, I help you become a more confident leader, and I do that with no nonsense sense, if that makes any sense. So today's video was brought on by what I hope is a subscriber, but somebody who left a comment who basically, one of my old videos, I said that you can treat your employees like children. Now, this commenter was a little bit disheartened by the way I said, or the way they understood what I said. This commenter felt like I was putting the employees down. And here's what I want to say in two parts. First, don't kid yourself. When there's a group of people, when there's a group of adults, I promise you, no matter what field they're in, they at some point will act like children. And I'm not saying that you're better than those people. And I'm not saying that I'm better than those people because I've done it. What happens is you get into groupthink. I've seen this with government employees. I've seen this with a group of police officers. I've seen this with teachers. I've seen this in the construction industry. I've seen it in the restaurant industry and in the airline industry. When you have a group of people, sometimes things get out of hand. Sometimes adults will play games just to screw over a manager. Yet those same adults will go home and be the adult figure for their children. They will be completely different when they punch in and when they punch out. You can argue with me until you're blue in the face, but I've seen it with my own eyes, and it's quite possible you've seen it too. I remember I gave managers a hard time. I remember I would play dumb. I would pretend like I didn't know what they were talking about. I would make them bring the union in for something that I knew was part of my job. I'm not alone in this. But here's what I was talking about in the video. In the video, I was saying that I like to treat my employees like my children. And here's the thing. You can get offended by what I said because I said my children. But I want you to understand that I respect my children. I trust my children. I give them room to grow, but I also give them parameters for which to live in, for which to play within. I give them rules, I give them responsibilities, and I expect certain things out of my children. That is not to say that when I'm working with a team that I think that they're a bunch of idiots, that I think that they're just children running around, running amok. I have the utmost respect for my kids. I know there's some parents that aren't necessarily the greatest of role models. I get that. So when I say your employees are like your children, I say it from my perspective, where I have the utmost respect and trust. The commenter did come around after we had a little back and forth because you guys know me. I'm not shy of conflict because there's a possibility, there's a great potential for a different outcome if we just address a situation. The commenter said, maybe I should have phrased it as though I were the coach and they were my team. They were my players. And this commenter is absolutely right. If they understood that I'm actually saying the same thing, I just used a word that maybe they didn't like. Maybe you don't like being called a child. I don't. But when I know that there's a supervisor who's respecting me and trusting me, and I look at them and I say they are a good person, and then I'm able to see them at home, and I see that they're equally as good a person to their spouse, to their family, to me, that means the world. And that's the type of people I want to work with, that have a good head on their shoulders, that can deal with situations, that are fair but firm. When I say your staff are like children, know that it's twofold. One, I want you to respect them. I want you to care for them. I want you to look out for their best interest. But two, don't be silly. Don't be fooled and think that we're working with a bunch of adults, because sometimes those adults, they need a spanking. I'm just kidding. Listen, this may be something that you didn't want to hear. I hope it made sense to you, but here's something else. In this video, it's a leadership problem that you don't want to address, but I really think you need to. So get your coffee. I'll see you there.